You ever see this happen? A Web3 project just vanishes. I mean, it starts out strong, right? You see the big launch, all the hype, the community's buzzing, and then boom, silence. Well, let's dig into this because the real reason these projects disappear, it's probably not what you think.
And honestly, this quote right here, it really nails the key to the whole mystery. It's not some big dramatic explosion. It's more like a slow, quiet fade into, well, into nothing. See, a project's biggest threat isn't a sudden crash. It's just gradually disappearing.
And the wild thing is, the pattern is almost always the same. It all kicks off with this massive, energetic launch. You know the vibe. The excitement is just through the roof. So that launch, it sparks this incredible hype. The community starts blowing up, engagement is soaring. It really feels like this thing is going straight to the moon. But then, crickets. The Discord channels go quiet, the social feeds, they stop getting any love, all that attention, it just evaporates. The project didn't really fail in the traditional sense, it just disappeared. And look, here's the bottom line. In the crazy, fast-moving world of Web3, being invisible is basically a death sentence. If people stop seeing your project, for all intents and purposes, it just doesn't exist anymore. So when founders start to feel that visibility fade, what do? Well, most of them fall into this super predictable and honestly pretty dangerous trap. They think there's a simple solution, but they're usually dead wrong. This right here just shows the massive disconnect perfectly. You've got the founder over here thinking, okay, simple. If I just post more content, the users will show up. But the reality? It's like hitting a brick wall. You get low reach, no traction, no new users. It's like they're just shouting into the void, and absolutely nothing moves the needle. And this kicks off this totally demoralizing loop. It's like a hamster wheel. You see the numbers are low, so you think, okay, I gotta post more. You're anxiously refreshing the analytics, but surprise, nothing's changed. So what's the next move? You just do it all over again, burning yourself out with pretty much nothing to show for it. And this really gets to the heart of the whole misunderstanding. See, founders think they have a content problem, but that's not it. What they really have is a visibility problem. I mean, just because you're posting doesn't mean anyone is actually seeing it. Okay, so if pumping out more content isn't the answer, then what is? Well, it turns out there's this kind of hidden layer to success that most projects completely, totally miss. Think about it. Behind every single project that looks like it's just effortlessly crushing it, there is an entire system working behind the scenes. And it's not just about the product or even the community. It's this other layer that honestly most founders just completely ignore. So what is this hidden layer? It's all about distribution. And no, I'm not just talking about posting on your own social channels. I'm talking about the real stuff. Strategic PR, getting your project featured in major media, making sure you're getting mentioned on popular platforms, and crucially, actively controlling the story people are telling about you. That is what creates real sustainable momentum. The thing you've got to understand is that success in this space is almost never an accident. It's not magic, it's a system. It's a repeatable, engineered process that's designed for one thing, to create and maintain visibility. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this system actually look like in practice? How do these successful projects manufacture that feeling of going viral? Well, the mechanism they use is surprisingly simple, but it is incredibly powerful. All right, the core tactic here is something called media stacking. And the idea is pretty straightforward. You take one single announcement and you strategically push it out across dozens of different channels. We're talking news sites, crypto aggregators, social media feeds, all at the exact same time. Let's just break that down real quick. Step 1, you craft one single powerful message. Step 2, you push it out everywhere you can possibly think of. And step 3, this is the most critical part, you synchronize the timing. Everything goes live at once, creating this massive, unavoidable wave of attention all across the ecosystem. And what this does is trigger a really powerful psychological effect. Just think about it from your own experience. If you see an announcement in one random place, you probably just scroll past it, right? It's just noise. But when you start seeing that same exact announcement everywhere you look, on Twitter, on a news site, in a newsletter, your brain just automatically goes, whoa, this must be a big deal. You assume it's legit, you start to trust it. And that's the result right there. Media stacking isn't just about getting views. It's about manufacturing the feeling of momentum.
It makes a project look like it's the biggest, most important thing happening at that moment. And that feeling, well, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Which brings us to the ultimate payoff of this whole strategy. Because in the world of Web3, how your project is perceived has a direct, tangible impact on its actual success. Look, when people start seeing your project everywhere, they make a few key assumptions. They assume it's legit, they assume it's growing fast, and they assume other people already trust it. And those assumptions, they change behavior. That leads to more clicks, which turns into more users, which attracts even more attention, and the whole thing snowballs, building more and more trust.
So really, it all boils down to this simple, powerful equation. In a decentralized world where your reputation is everything, perception literally creates trust. When you engineer visibility, you're not just getting your name out there. You're building the very foundation that your project's success rests on.
So this all brings us to one last really critical thought. If you're building something in this space, you have to take a step back and be honest with yourself about what you're really spending your time on. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Are you just building a product and, hoping people will magically find it? Or are you actively, systematically building the visibility that will make sure it doesn't just survive, but actually thrives? Because that answer, well, it could be the difference between massive success and that slow, invisible death we talked about.
Subscribe and visit Web3 Newswire for visibility and credibility of your Web3 projects.